Arch Coal and its subsidiaries and affiliates are committed to providing safe and healthy workplaces. This is a commitment we've made to our employees. It also applies to individuals who visit or perform work at our respective operations. The purpose of this video is to ensure that everyone receives training related to the potential hazards they may encounter and the measures necessary to avoid these hazards. The training you receive today will be valid for 12 months, at which time you will need to be retrained should you return to the subsidiary operation you are visiting today. After the video, your instructor may inform you of other hazards specific to the site you are visiting and the precautions you should take to address them. So sit back, watch the video, listen to your instructor, and please feel free to ask any questions that you may have.
Arch Coal and its subsidiaries and affiliates are fully committed to ensuring our respective operations are drug and alcohol free. As a result, possession or use of or being impaired by drugs or alcohol is strictly prohibited at those operations. It's your responsibility to wear all personal protective equipment required by law or the company safety policy. Our operations require the use of hard hats, safety glasses, and protective footwear. You are also required to wear snug-fitting clothing. You'll have to blouse your trousers near your ankles or place your pant legs inside your boots. This practice will help prevent your pants from being caught by equipment. If the conditions you encounter dictate, you may be required to wear hearing protection, safety glasses, face shields, respirators, gloves, or other specialized safety equipment. Your instructor will inform you of the requirements at the operation you're visiting today. Riding in a man trip, observing the roof bolter in operation, or in other work areas with the potential where work could produce flying objects, such as striking metal with a hammer, you must always wear your safety glasses. If you drive on mine property, always wear your seatbelt. In addition, observe all warning and speed limit signs. If you encounter mobile equipment or coal trucks while driving to your destination, always yield the right-of-way to the larger equipment. All surface mine equipment has backup alarms. They sound like this. If you hear a backup alarm, pay special attention. Mine equipment is very large. At times, the operator's view may be obstructed. Park only in designated areas and leave adequate clearance for other vehicles and mine equipment. Always attempt to park in a level area and be aware that some special parking areas or loading zones may require you to chock your wheels. While on mine property, you are not permitted to operate any equipment unless specifically authorized by management. In addition, you must be properly task trained by a company official prior to operating a piece of equipment. If you visit a preparation plant, tipple, repair shop, or similar area, be alert to overhead cranes. Avoid areas where cranes are actively in use and never walk under a suspended load. Material handling areas in mines have conveyor systems with belts and rollers. Make sure you're wearing tight-fitting clothing in these areas. Always stay clear of moving machinery such as belts, rollers, and conveyors. If you visit areas where welding and cutting is underway, shield your eyes. Never look directly at the work when welding is being performed. Always wear protective eyewear when you are in a work area when this work is being performed. Use caution when walking through shops and maintenance areas. Be alert to slippery floors and avoid tripping hazards. If you're required to load or unload materials during your visit, use proper lifting techniques. If necessary, get help lifting heavy or bulky items. Stay out of posted areas. Warning signs are installed for your safety. Never venture into unfamiliar areas alone. You should always be accompanied by a company employee or be working under the direction of someone from the mine. Always observe no smoking signs. Smoking is only permitted on the surface in designated areas. All Arch Eastern operations use a computer-based material safety data sheet management system for hazardous chemicals at this site. Ask your instructor how to obtain an MSDS. It is your responsibility to inform us of any hazardous chemicals you or your company may have brought onto the mine site. If you have any questions during your visit, feel free to ask the company person escorting you. Immediately report any incident or injury that may occur to you to a member of management. For those visitors going underground, you are required to take additional training on the precautions involved in underground mining. Have a safe day. Prior to going underground, you must check in. You must also check out when arriving back on the surface. The person taking you underground will explain the procedures necessary to check you in and out of the mine. Everyone underground must be accounted for. Smoking materials, including matches, lighters, cigarettes, and cigars, are not permitted underground. In addition, cameras, cell phones, and other electronic devices are prohibited underground unless specifically approved by the mine management. As you begin your trip underground, remember to always stay within sight and sound of the person accompanying you. Also remember to wear your eye and ear protection while on the man trip. Keep all body parts inside the man trip, and never attempt to mount or dismount the ride while it is in motion. Coal miners refer to the mine roof as the top. They call the sides of a mine entry the ribs. While underground, constantly monitor the top and ribs. The potential for injury from a roof fall or rib roll exists at all times in an underground mine. The roof you travel under has been supported in accordance with the approved roof control plan. It is considered safe, but you must always be alert to a potential failure. As a general rule, it's a safe practice to walk and stand in the middle of the entry as much as possible. If you are with a tour group, please stay together and follow the tour leader's instructions. In face areas where coal is mined, unsupported roof will be marked with a sign, reflector, or red streamers. These markers indicate that the roof is not yet supported. Never travel beyond these markers. Never travel beyond supported roof. Mobile equipment is used in every aspect of the underground mining process. Always be alert for scoops, shuttle cars, and other mobile equipment in all underground areas, particularly near the working face. Be aware that equipment operators may have limited visibility. Also be careful not to shine your light in their eyes. Continuous mining systems usually consist of a continuous miner, Drive-through curtains are used to maintain ventilation at the face. Equipment, such as the scoop shown here, is required to pass through these curtains to get to the face area. Be alert to mining equipment when you pass through a ventilation curtain. After you've passed through the curtain, make sure it's back in place. Always be alert for moving equipment and trailing cables. Never walk alongside a piece of moving equipment and stay clear of trailing cables. The mine floor, which is also called the bottom, may be uneven. There may be coal or loose rock in the walkway. Walk cautiously and observe the bottom ahead of you. Always be alert for changes in the walkway. If you travel around an underground belt conveyor, a tailpiece, or a feeder, always be aware of your footing. There may be loose coal in these areas. Proceed cautiously to avoid tripping or falling into the conveyor. Cross over or under the conveyor belt only at designated crossing areas. Unless you're properly task trained and specifically authorized by a management official, never touch electrical power sources. In addition, you should not attempt to operate any equipment. Performing electrical and other work in an underground mine requires specialized training. An underground mine has at least 2 and sometimes more designated escape ways. The primary escape way is the intake air course. It's marked with green reflectors and signs, which will direct you to the main shaft, slope, or drift. The secondary escape way is the main travel way that runs throughout the mine. It will be marked with reflectors of a different color and will lead to the mine opening. The company official conducting the training will explain the different colors of reflectors and the escape way locations at the mine you're visiting. Personnel doors, or man doors as they are commonly called, lead to the escape ways. Their locations are also marked with reflectors or signs. They are located in the adjacent air split of the intake escape way. If you travel through a man door, make sure to close it tightly behind you. At the first sign of a mine fire or an explosion, put on your self-contained self-rescuer device. All of Arch Coal's subsidiary and affiliate underground mines use self-contained self-rescuers, or SCSRs. Your instructor will explain the requirements, plans, and procedures for putting on the appropriate self-rescuer at the operation you're visiting today.
Arch Coal and its subsidiaries and affiliates are committed to safety excellence. We want your visit to be safe and incident-free. Your instructor will now review additional safety information that applies to the operation you are visiting. Please listen carefully and follow all safety requirements. Finally, if you have any questions concerning safety or other issues, make sure that you ask them. And please have a safe visit. And remember, safety is a value.
Mine emergencies such as fires or explosions can occur at any time underground, requiring the donning of a self-contained self-rescuer, or SCSR. In such an emergency where either an oxygen-deficient or toxic atmosphere exists, your successful escape will depend on knowing how to properly put on the Osenko M20. The M20 is an approved 10-minute self-contained breathing apparatus that will instantly provide you breathable air, protecting you from the surrounding environment. The Osenko M20 is belt-worn and can be donned in less than 10 seconds. In a few simple steps, the M20 can be donned and your escape can begin. To begin donning the unit, move the M20 away from the belt and place your thumb or a finger under the yellow lever. Lift the lever on the latch and discard the latch and cover. Remove the M20 by pulling the yellow neck strap or mouthpiece upward. The oxygen flow will begin automatically when the unit is removed from its base. Place the yellow neck strap over your head. Next, put the mouthpiece into your mouth. Fit the yellow nose clip, inhale through your mouth, and begin your escape. Remember, your successful escape depends on you knowing how to properly don the Osenko M20. Again, the steps for putting on the unit are as follows. Step 1. Lift the yellow lever and discard cover. Step 2. Remove the unit by pulling neck strap upward. Step 3. Insert yellow mouthpiece. Step 4. Fit yellow nose clip. Step 5. Inhale through your mouth and escape. After you start your escape, you may adjust the yellow neck strap. After donning the M20, you can begin your escape traveling to a man trip or storage cache for longer duration SCSRs, such as an Osenko EBA 6.5. When making the transfer to a new unit, it is important to keep your lungs isolated from the mine atmosphere. Studies have shown the carbon monoxide concentrations following a methane or dust explosion and in certain types of mine fires are so high that one breath can incapacitate a person, and the second or third breath can render a miner unconscious, possibly resulting in death. Upon arriving at the SCSR storage cache or man trip, remove an EBA 6.5 and check the gauge to ensure there is adequate oxygen for donning. Even a unit that is not fully charged can be worn, but the wearer should know the unit's duration will be shortened. After checking the gauge, move to a flat surface and drop to your knees, shining your cap light on the EBA. While performing the following steps to open and activate the Osenko EBA 6.5, do not remove the mouthpiece or nosepiece for the M20. This is not done until ready to don the EBA 6.5. If you experience difficulty in remembering the steps to donning an EBA 6.5, the instructions are located on the bottom cover of the unit's case. Now you can begin the donning procedure by opening the case. Pull the latch pin. Lift and remove the D-rings. Remove the closure bands. Grab the straps and separate the case halves. Turn the on-off valve counterclockwise to start the oxygen, leaving the mouthpiece plug in place. Note, the oxygen will begin to slowly inflate the breathing bag. These steps completed, you are ready to make the transfer from the M20 to the EBA 6.5. Remove the yellow neck strap and loop the EBA neck strap over your head. Inhale deeply from the M20 and remove the mouthpiece and nose clip, then discard the unit. Lift the EBA mouthpiece to your mouth, removing the mouthpiece plug from the mouthpiece. Quickly insert mouthpiece and put on nose clip and exhale into the mouthpiece of the unit. Remove the goggles from the Osenko's oxygen cylinder valve. Adjust the neck strap so the unit rests comfortably on your chest. Put on goggles, buckle the waist strap and tighten it for a snug fit, and retrieve hard hat. Purge breathing bag by wrapping arms across bag and deflating bag with your arms. Bag will refill with oxygen and you can now resume your escape. It may be necessary to replace the EBA 6.5 with a second EBA unit. The transition from one EBA to a second EBA is as follows. After removing an EBA 6.5 from a storage cache, walk to a flat surface, get down on your hands and knees. Make no changes to the SCSR you're wearing. Place the second Osenko on the mine floor. Remove your hard hat and place it on the floor to light the transition area. Remove the pin and D-rings and bands to separate the case halves of the second Osenko, just like you opened the first. Open the second Osenko's oxygen cylinder valve completely, 5 to 6 half turns, keeping the mouthpiece plug in the mouthpiece. Unhook the waist strap from the unit you're wearing. While supporting the unit, push down on the plastic tab on the neck strap to lengthen the strap on your old or first EBA. Do not remove the mouthpiece or nose clip. Remove the neck strap from the first EBA and loop the strap from the second Osenko around your neck. Inhale deeply from the first EBA. Remove the mouthpiece from the first EBA. Extend the breathing hoses from the second EBA, removing the mouthpiece plug, and quickly place the mouthpiece in your mouth. Pull the nose clip off your nose. Do not breathe through your nose, and quickly replace it with the nose clip from the second Osenko. Exhale into the second EBA and begin breathing normally from your mouth. Shorten the neck strap by pulling the end of the strap straight up. Purge the second unit's breathing bag. To purge the breathing bag, exhale into the EBA, thereby inflating the breathing bag. Hold your breath and press or compress the breathing bag to force the air through the relief valve on the back of the breathing bag. Resume breathing normally through your mouth. Buckle the waist strap and tighten it for a snug fit. This may be easier to do when standing. And continue your escape. If your first unit, EBA 6.5, still has significant oxygen, keep wearing it to limit the number of SCSR exchanges. Remove the second EBA from the storage cache, bringing it with you in case it's needed prior to reaching outside, or the next cache of SCSRs. Don the second unit when the gauge needle approaches or is in the red zone. Even though you have replaced your original EBA with a second, you may not want to discard the first unit if the gauge still registers oxygen. Turn the on-off valve clockwise to shut off the flow of oxygen and carry the unit as you continue your escape. The donning and transfer procedures described in this video are intended to help you make a successful escape. Watching this video, however, will not ensure this success. Practice in the donning and transfer is essential to being prepared if an emergency does occur and you must evacuate the mine.